Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. Wanted to remind everybody, go to XRPLasVegas.com. We've already set records. We set new records every day with ticket sales. There's going to be right now. You can still get discounted rooms, discounted rooms at the MGM Grand. You can also get discounted tickets. And reminder that Bitcoin Las Vegas is going to be there the 3 days before. They're going to have that at the Venetian. By the way, that'll be at the Venetian, and then the MGM Grand is where XRP Las Vegas will go. You'll see a lot of the usual characters, the Bitcoin maxis that'll be there, including Tim Draper, who I think is one of the only good guy Bitcoin maxis that doesn't bash other projects. Reminder, if you want to go to you can look in the description of my video, the XRPLasVegas.com link is right there. You can also click the join button to join my private group, or you can join it through Patreon at DAIXRP.com. Now, about Bitcoin maxis, here's somebody. Here's somebody interviewing Tim Draper, and I've said many times I think Tim Draper is one of the good guy Bitcoin maxis, and he's but I think these Bitcoin maxis, the people like him that were so early, I think that they ultimately need this thing to go to a very high level in order to have enough exit liquidity for themselves. And I believe that's why even Tim Draper will only act like Bitcoin's the thing and all. I think he'll have to do that until it gets to the point where he can get out with billions. And that doesn't make him a bad guy that he just needs to get out, but I think he really believes in Bitcoin. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I think there's a reason that they keep the focus of conversation on Bitcoin. But here, I wanted to show you a little reminder. I don't think it's a coincidence that I'm the only person I've ever heard of asking Tim Draper if he owns XRP. And the answer to that question is yes, too.
I've interviewed.
The first part is this guy asking him. This guy even brings up Ripple, and he of course avoids it and goes to Bitcoin. But then at the end is the clip where I asked him if he owned XRP.
I've interviewed Chris of Ripple. So obviously the markets are always changing. I always see his is up and down on the Forbes list and things like that. But which one would you say in the last really year or two, and you think this year as well and next year, which cryptocurrency exchange or company do you see the most success in the immediate future, and also based off the track record?
Well, it's Bitcoin, because what happens is and you've seen it happen. Bitcoin had about a 40% market share on its first boom, and then there was a bust. And then it boomed again, and it had about a 50% market share. And then there was a bust, and then it boomed again, and it had a 60% market share. So it's a gravitational pull toward Bitcoin. There will be other currencies, other cryptocurrencies that have new advances and new developments, and new apps will be developed around them. But eventually all those apps will be developed around Bitcoin too. And it ends up being the place where most of the gravitational pull goes.
Well, Ripple is XRP.
Let me correct him before we go for it. Bitcoin, the only reason all these things have happened for Bitcoin, I'm not going to quit reminding you, is that Bitcoin has had the regulatory monopoly for all of this time. The government immediately covered, in fact, all administrations immediately called Bitcoin, it's a commodity, and because it has this mysterious creator that we don't know who it is, which is a lie. That's the only reason. If you remember, Ryan Zagone from Ripple was complaining about it way back when, in 2018-19, in a video. He says, no, what we need is a level playing field. If you have a level playing field, then the market can decide. Well, That's what's about to happen to Bitcoin. That's what none of these guys are saying. That's why you're seeing sailors scramble around and try to find either a company or a state or the U.S. government to create a Bitcoin reserve, because if he doesn't find the next, they know what's coming. They know that the regulatory monopoly is ending. But here's Tim Draper talking about what else he owns.
To the gravitational pull goes.
Well, Ripple is XRP is the Ripple currency. Yes, I'm an owner of Ripple or XRP. I'm an owner of Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Tezos. I'm an owner of the Aragon. I'm a believer. I think this is it's happening. It's coming. It's so important for the world, and I want the world to know it, and I want other people in the world to get on board.
All right. And then, by the way, speaking of Michael Saylor, here he is. I said he's got to find the next buyer to keep it going. What's that called again? I think you know what that's called. Here he's begging Jeff Bezos to, he's basically telling Jeff Bezos he needs to have a Bitcoin reserve, in his own words. Bitcoin is the best way to promote personal liberties and free markets. It offers an open protocol for prosperity that can be delivered to everyone via digital technology. Well, so can XRP. Which reminds me, do you remember when Kendra Hill, who disappeared from social media, said that Amazon had a partnership with Ripple years in the making, and that Amazon owned $5 billion worth of XRP, or maybe it was 5 billion XRP. Look, I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying that's what she said. I've always wondered. The market has still been in pullback. XRP is moving up a little bit now, 24 hours, 3.5%. This morning it had dropped down a little bit, and guess who went and bought? That would be the digital asset investor. I did it again. I bought more XRP. Here's a hilarious response from someone who did not buy. Who said, "This is me." Look, like I said, I'm not always in a position to buy the dips. But when I am, that's what I do. When I'm not in a position, I just don't look at it. I just wait for it to pass. Okay, John Reed Stark, who defended the SEC to the hilt when Gary Gensler was in there, is now, he has capitulated. He blocked me during that process, by the way. The SEC's frantic and unprecedented rampage to dismantle its crypto enforcement program continues, this time halting 2 SEC appeals dead in their tracks. Buckle up, XRP Army. The Ripple appeal has got to be next on the SEC chopping block. Well, at least he's telling the truth now. Inside, XRP-backed securities offer investors exposure to XRP, directly holding it via ETFs, futures, options, and more. With growing institutional interest and regulatory shifts, here's what you need to know. And then Senator Loomis is saying that tune in Wednesday, this is at 2:30 today, for the Digital Asset Subcommittee hearing. Get excited. Then Patrick McHenry has officially sold us all out. He says, excited to share that I'm joining A16Z as senior advisor, which means that he will be side by side with Bill Hinman. Technology is the future of economic growth, This makes me want to puke all over my keyboard, folks. And now we know why he never did anything about ETHgate. Say hi to Bill Hinman, Patrick McHenry. Ask him when we get to see the Hinman IG report. John Deaton weighs in. Remember the letter I sent you asking for you to make a simple inquiry into the SEC, which you oversaw as chairman of the FSC, regarding the massive conflicts of interest involving Bill Hinman. In fact, Empower, an independent Washington watchdog, sent a referral to the IG, leading to an investigation of Hinman. Despite this and the incredible proof I sent your office, you refused to make a simple inquiry, just like you refused to issue a subpoena to Gary Gensler and the corrupt SEC. And now you're partners with the very person you refused to make the inquiry about. The revolving door is alive and well, I see. You, sir, are a part of the problem in this country, and why members of Congress have such a high disapproval rating. Exactly. This, if you remember, is what I sent in December of 2023. With all due respect, Patrick McHenry, some in Congress make history and some fade into history. Which one will you be? You know what needs to be done. You know the bad guys have taken over our Congress. When Gary subpoena, when call Eastgate for an Eastgate investigation. This was him back then announcing his retirement.
In February, the committee made multiple requests for documents to the Securities Exchange Commission. This is normal congressional oversight. Yet 7 months later, the committee has not received a single non-public document that was not part of a FOIA production. As I said, our patience is wearing thin. The SEC is not above the law, nor is it unique. Other financial regulators have routinely complied with congressional oversight. So let me be clear. I do not want to be the first chairman of this committee to issue a subpoena to the Securities Exchange Commission. And you should not want to be the first SEC chair to receive a congressional subpoena. Either we find a path forward where the SEC recognizes Congress as a co-equal branch of government and is responsive to our oversight duties, or my option is to issue a subpoena.
You didn't have the balls to issue a subpoena, Patrick McHenry. Never forget, you sold out. He's now joining Bill Hinman. I won't forget that one. Bank of America CEO says stablecoins are inevitable. Hinting Bank of America may launch its own token pegged to the USD deposit accounts if regulations allow. I wonder what ledger Bank of America could issue that on. Just a little reminder from Smoke here. Ripple, Bank of America, past success, where it's somewhere in here. Let's see. There it is right there. I couldn't pick it up. All right. And here's the next page. Ripple Partners, Bank of America. Works in test mode. More than 100 banks. Santander, Bank of America, Axis Bank, Standard Chartered, unlimited scalability. It's designed to improve existing payment technologies by accelerating exchange operations, facilitating the trade of liquid assets. And then there was this little page. Bank of America, domestic, PayPal, Bank of America. Here's Ripple, built on Ripple, settlement infrastructure. And then this is Digital Perspectives saying lock in, and he's retweeting. This is the bank, one of the Bank of America patents showing Ripple DLT. Get the picture, folks. Spot gold ETFs saw demand rise to a near 3-year high, and gold-backed cryptos are benefiting from a rise in price of precious metal. Man, I think that what's going on with gold, when you combine what's going on with gold and the Bitcoin maxis like Michael Saylor, knowing that the regulatory playing field's about to be leveled, that's what's got them scrambling around. Look at this, XP Markets. XRP holds hidden secrets, millions of dormant wallets acting as digital fossils of past adoption with. I have a whole bunch. I bet I've got 4 or 5 or 6 old Ledger Nano S's that had that 20 XRP reserve on them. I decided to just keep them and keep all the words and all that stuff, so that one day if this thing goes to a crazy price, we'll take those off of there and maybe go on a nice vacation or something. 32% of 6.2 million. By the way, those old things, they only have like 10 to 20 XRP each on them. It's not anything significant. 32% of 6.2 million. I think I mentioned this the other day. I don't use self-custody anymore. That, folks, I heard some news yesterday, by the way, that iTrustCapital has just opened up institutional level custody they just created regular accounts. It's a institutional custody for regular accounts. Now, I spoke to them, and you can't send digital assets into it yet, but right now all you can do is open an account, and all the XRP or any other digital asset you buy goes to institutional custody, and you don't have to worry about it the way you have for all these years. I will be opening one of those accounts myself, and you don't have to worry about all the hacking and all that BS that you've been having to worry about all these years. And by the way, if you're interested in that, go in the link of the description of this video. If you haven't opened an iTrustCapital account, There's a link. You can get $100 for opening an account. Then you can go and open one of these retail accounts where all the XRP you buy goes to institutional grade custody. They're the only company in the world that I'm aware of that has that right now. I mean, it's all coming, but XRP reserve rules evolved from 1,000 XRP to just 1 XRP today, and unintentionally shaping user behavior over time. Adoption clusters emerged. 14.4% wallets hold 10 XRP, 12.1% hold 20 XRP, a snapshot of long forgotten trends. 55% of balances follow neat powers of 10, showing clear human bias toward round numbers. Nearly 2 million accounts remain untouched, acting as blockchain time capsules, silently witnessing XRPL's transformation. This isn't just trivia. It's a passive metric of network utilization. Dormant accounts tell a deeper story of growth, stagnation, and future potential. That's a killer write-up. All right, we'll finish here. Tether CEO Paolo Ardino says competitors and politicians are working to kill Tether using lawfare instead of building a better product. What did we just watch with Gary Gensler? We watched lawfare against U.S. companies and people that were doing things the right way. People that were like Ripple, that were being totally transparent. Who did they leave alone? And it's not a coincidence, folks. Who did they leave alone? They left alone the people that were offshore, the people that weren't letting people audit their books, that never had an audit, the people that Lord knows what kind of shady stuff was going on. FTX, they didn't go after FTX till the fraud was exposed and they had no choice. They were meeting with that. Gary Gensler, the White House, Congress, CFTC, they were all meeting with Sam Bankman-Fried, all of them. And his parents were connected directly to the Democrat Party. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about in DAI XRP, and you can go to DAI XRP to join through the Patreon, DAIXRP.com, or just click below this video at the join button on YouTube. It's the same price, and it's just around $6. That's it. But in DAIXRP.com, what we're going to talk about is this. I'm going to talk about what I consider to be the two greatest dangers to crypto. And all of it would be short term, but what I consider to be the two greatest dangers to crypto. I don't think that we've got to worry about those dangers, but these would be the two greatest dangers. It wouldn't affect crypto in the mid to long term, but it would affect it in the short run. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm going to tell you what they are, and I'm going to tell you, and then we're going to talk about what I think's about to happen for XRP. There's no question in my mind on that one. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.